There are so many options out there, so it's important to talk to your doctor and find the right birth control for you. Ask for yourself. Ask for Nexplanon.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Bachelor Happy Hour. I'm Joe.
And I'm Serena.
And we are here today with Kat. Kat, welcome back to Bachelor Happy Hour.
Hi guys, happy to be back.
You were just here, but the
I
show
know.
is officially aired, so now we can talk about everything that's gone down.
It's happening, huh?
It's happening.
Yeah.
How are you feeling so far?
I mean, much better this time, like than I was before. It's, it's definitely just like more fun to watch. Like it's actually like a good show. Like it's just really, it honestly, it's been entertaining, not just with my situation, but like everyone's like it's fun to see everyone's personalities like actually come through and you can just see it. It's been really fun.
Is it looking and feeling like you expected it to after filming?
Oh, I mean, we had an idea, but nobody could have expected it to look this good. Like the ring lights were really like doing their job. Like it looks so good. And like the slow-mo and like the little like White Lotus like noises in the background. Like I'm like, wow, this is like elevated. Because we had like some idea, but the creative is not top notch.
Is there anything so far that you've watched back that surprised you about anything like your castmates or anyone said or has done that you're like, oh fuck, I didn't know that went down?
Oh, yeah. Actually, a lot of things. Well, I mean, like I knew Brian was being toxic. I clocked it like day one that he had that inside him. Did I think he was taking it to the level that he was in the interviews? Absolutely not. I feel like that happens every year. We like see what people are saying in their internal dialogue, that a lot of things should probably stay inside your head. Um, and the Jeremy and Bailey stuff, I mean, I learned about that later, but like I still had no idea that it got to the extent that it was, or that their conversation was as heated as it was. I learned more about like how close people's relationships were prior. Like there's just a lot of things that you have a lot more private moments, I think, in this setting. So you
Yeah.
don't really see everybody's like relationship playing out. And people are still kind of keeping their like cards close to their chest at this time. So yeah, I think it was just I'm learning a lot
Okay, so
about
let's
people.
go. Let's cut to episode 1, day 1. You're down there.
Sure.
Who Dale isn't there yet? Who are you potentially interested in?
I mean, day one for me was really just like getting the jitters out, feeling comfortable in this
Yeah.
environment again, learning who everybody was. Like I kept calling Spencer Sebastian. Like I like could not get his name right. So now we have a running joke about it. But like it was more so just like feeling everyone's energy. I would say like I had the most like banter with Jonathan. Like we had like good like back and forth. So that was like fun. But like it wasn't that intense, like, oh, we're like people were actually just like pulling you to chat. Like nobody cared. Like Kyle pulled me to talk, Jeremy pulled me to talk. Like everyone was just kind of like making an effort to get to know everyone and go into like one-on-one conversations about it. And then even the girls, we just all wanted to like learn about each other. And like I knew no one. So it was just kind of like a taking in everything
Yeah.
at once.
Dale shows up, and we interviewed Jonathan, and Jonathan said he was interested in you. And then
Okay.
Dale showed up, and he kind of saw the way you reacted.
I
He's
know.
like,
I
"Oh,
thought about that after.
she was really excited." And then he's like, "Okay, I immediately checked out."
Okay,
Do you think is that true? And do you think
please.
he should have kept pursuing you? Because
Okay.
that's what he said.
But it
Yeah.
does seem like he on the show, it does look like he's still pursuing you.
I mean, yeah, because I wouldn't say he checked out.
Okay.
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 Maybe he like wanted to. Okay, this is backstory. I knew no one going into this. I didn't know who was going to even potentially be there. Ricky told me like, oh, by the way, have you heard of like Dale? Like he might be coming here. And that was, I think, day one. And I was like, wait, that sounds familiar. And I was like, wait, he's an adult. Like he's like an adult man. And so I was like, oh my God, wait, that's really exciting if it's true, because like he could be someone I would actually be like super interested in. So that's where the excitement came from, because I was like, oh, okay, so that actually is happening. And at that point, no one was really like I know Jonathan's I think he's like afraid to like make moves. So he was almost like giving friend zone vibes to everyone, and he was not being direct until Alex told him to be direct. And then he actually, I don't remember what day it was. I thought definitely up until this point, he had told me like, by the way, I'm interested in you. And I was like, okay, I'm like still vibing with you too. Like I just because I was excited about Dale doesn't mean that I'm not excited or like still interested to pursue. And like, but he was like, I was surprised to like not see you in the kissing booth and stuff like that. And that was like a few days later. And I was like, oh, really now? Because I wouldn't even, if you wanted to kiss me, why didn't you kiss me before? Like, why did it take a
Yeah.
challenge?
Yeah.
And that's kind of where I was at. So I was like, well, these guys all had their chance first week. They didn't want to make it. I'm not gonna like kiss them now. Like, that's weird.
Fair. Yeah.
So, yeah, because I want a man that like will not have to wait for someone to put us, no. So that's why I was excited because I was like, okay, like he is definitely someone I can see like more. And but at that point, the guys I was like, maybe, but like I didn't know. I just didn't have like that clear vision of that yet.
Okay.
That makes
Okay.
sense.
Yeah, that clears things up.
Okay.
Okay, so Dale's down there. Is there a spark right away? I mean, it seems like you guys really hit it off.
I think we just like felt like, okay, you get it. I get it. Like you've been here before. Like there was no one there that had been in this environment before besides me.
Well, Justin.
But
Oh
Justin
yeah.
wasn't there quite yet. Oh wait,
Yeah,
no,
he
Justin
was.
came
Yeah, he
before
was.
Dale.
Yeah. Yeah, but it was like that was platonic and he was like doing his thing with Lexi. But
But
you
didn't he
know,
pull you to chat?
who?
No, did Justin pull you to chat?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
But there was never a world where you and Justin would have pursued
No,
each other.
we have the same birthday. I can't date a Gemini man that has the exact same birthday as me. That's
Okay.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
The
a
universe
problem.
can't handle that. No. But I think we just like that was where I was coming from. I also just like kind of liked his like confidence and like just overall aura. Like he wasn't like getting like he was clearly just like moving with however he wanted to move like throughout when he came in. And I saw like Zoe initially pull him and like everybody get excited and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna see if he comes to me. Like I'll be there, I'll be in conversation, but I'm not gonna be like all over because that's just like not really how I am anymore. And so, but then once we like started talking, immediately was like, okay, yeah, like we can kick it. Like
Yeah.
it's like there was no awkward like moments or anything like that. We got deep really fast and felt comfortable doing so.
Okay, so now you're kind of, I don't want to say, well, are you locked in at this point?
Mhm.
Like,
Well, let's talk about your date first with
Mhm.
Dale.
yeah.
How'd
Yeah.
the date go?
Date was great. Yes, I got sick. No, I know he's
That
gonna
I would
he
have got sick too. I mean, that would have been the worst
no,
thing for me. I would
I
never have
knew
done that.
off rip. He even knew that I knew. Like
Yeah.
I took a Zofran, which is an anti-nausea med, prescription
Yeah.
based. I was eating my ginger tablets and I had a Dramamine in my system, but sitting backwards, it was a wrap. But I did not like I kept it so cool. Like I was like trying to keep it together. So he actually like did not know how unwell I was until I couldn't take it anymore. Because I know people are like, why didn't he like do anything? I like truly didn't say anything until I was like, okay, we've had our conversations. Like I need to take a break. And
Yeah.
that's when I was like, let me flip around and just like see the horizon. But I didn't want to like interrupt our conversations by like being like, hey, I can't like I'm about to throw up in my mouth. So it was like that's what it was. But overall, so much fun. Um, we just got really deep really fast. Like we connected about like both being engaged in that place and having like our own situations post show with the world. And it just felt like someone I could like really like understands that unique experience that you don't really find here as often. So we just really connected, I think, like on that level for sure.
Nice.
Is there another man from Bachelor Nation that could come down that you would be interested in at this point? Like, was there anyone else you were hoping to see down there?
Joe, I literally didn't know anyone. Like I was thinking they were gonna bring in like, I mean, yeah, they brought in like someone that I had like never heard of or something.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Or like, I mean, I judge people, but then they come and they're completely different. So, and I have really been so apart from the Bachelor world up until that point for like 2 years. So I really didn't really even know who was like a possibility. But I will say, like, it was obviously day two. I didn't want him to feel like just because we went on a date, he has to like stay loyal to me in any capacity. Like I told him, like, keep having conversations with girls, like get to know people. I was gonna go back and still talk to Jonathan. Like we had this great moment, and like but you use that moment almost to like, if you're still thinking about that while you're talking to other people, then that says more. And I just never wanted him to feel like he was confined because I know his first experience was limited. So I don't
Yeah.
think any of us were locked in yet.
So you guys are still open, and then Dale is also, I don't know, I wouldn't say pursuing, but he's having conversations with Allie
Mhm.
Joe. And are you aware of that at the time?
Okay, so that's week 2. I was after the first rose ceremony. Um, I knew girls were coming in. I knew he was going to be a hot commodity, like he's Dale. I had a feeling that maybe like that was going to be one of the girls that she was interested. Like, I mean, it's Dale. Like, I figured every girl was going to come in and be interested. Did I know the extent? No, but I also wasn't pressing. Like, I wasn't like trying to get in. Like, if he wanted to tell me, he would, and that was still early, and I didn't want it to feel like he had any like obligation to. We did talk about like transparency. That was like one of our first things. Like, that was our foundation, was to make sure that we are just like completely open about how we're feeling and what's happening, because these are people that are literally living next door to us. And
Yeah.
last thing you want is to find out stuff from watching it back, or, hearing about it from someone else. You want it to come from this person you've been creating a connection with. So, um, but at the same time, like the intimate things, I feel like I wasn't really pressing at that moment because it was still so early.
In the Familia is presented by Coca-Cola. Coke kind of drama.
From Lily Chu. Infuriatingly handsome.
The work brain and turn up the good vibes. Malibu is Chang, or just catch
Control for the prevention of pregnancy in women. Or impossible if it isn't where it should be. For more information.
Pay in 4 or month varies. Learn more at PayPal.
The Allie Joe kiss of it all. Before we
Yeah.
go there.
Got it. Okay, so now we're gonna cut to this week's episode.
Yeah, the
Before
fun
we
one.
do, did you know, because we're about to get into, the Allie Joe kiss of it all. Before we
Yeah.
go there,
Yeah.
did you know that Dale kissed Zoe in the kissing challenge?
Oh, yeah. I knew all the
Okay.
girls he kissed. He told me about all the girls he kissed.
Okay, so
Okay.
after
Yeah.
the kissing challenge, you guys did debrief.
Yeah, I
And
knew all the
said,
girls he had kissed in there. Yeah.
okay,
I was doing the math, like while the girls were going. I had like a way of figuring it out.
okay,
So I knew that he kissed like all 4 of them, yeah, in the kissing
Yeah.
challenge. But then
Okay,
I
so
was like, so you're interested in her. Okay, that's fine.
right, because it was you, Zoe, Allie Joe, and then I believe Alex.
Yes.
Yes, okay. Did
Mhm.
that, because we didn't really see a lot of aftermath from the kissing challenge, did that
Mhm.
cause any rifts, or were you like, okay, I'm just clocking that, like that's where
Yeah.
you're at right now?
I told literally all the girls, I said, you should all put Dale. Like, you all guys should all kiss him. Like, why not? He's so hot. Like, I would.
Yeah.
I was here for it. I mean, what did I think he was gonna do all that? I don't know, but I feel pretty confident in my my kissing
Did
skills.
any part of you want to explore a kiss with Jonathan in that
yeah,
challenge?
did you kiss anyone else or just Dale?
No, I just kissed Dale. I thought about it, but like I said, I like those guys had already been there for a week with me. So
Yeah.
like if you wanted to make a move, you absolutely could have had the chance. Like we've had many like one-on-ones that probably didn't have the reason to be aired. So like if they are not gonna, I'm not gonna be with somebody that it takes that moment to be forced together to see if there's chemistry.
Yeah.
So that was just where I was coming from. And yeah, that I just didn't think it was necessary.
Did the kissing challenge with Dale spark any insecurities about his potential connections with other women? Or were you feeling pretty
Well,
good about where you're at?
I felt really good at that moment because like he told me we were solid. So I was like, okay, so you can do your thing, but I guess maybe I was last and like now, I don't know. And yeah, he said we were solid. So I was like, okay, we're good. But I
But
also was like, even if we're not, like I'll be like it's fine. It's like I just
yeah,
met
like,
yesterday.
are you
Right.
still like him telling you guys are solid, but in your head, are you still somewhat open to like pursuing Jonathan, or if someone else comes down, or does that, or
I feel
him
like you
telling
kind of
you
have
that?
to be like I am someone that's I have I feel like in that space, you kind of have to like be still open because that's the point is to like
Yeah.
see where your emotions go. But I definitely had my strongest like feelings and connect and like I would say like formed foundation with Dale. Like we got back from the date, we spent the whole night together, like we spent the whole morning together. Like we were kind of like attached at the hip. So even though we've kind of sparked off and talked to people, like we kept coming back to each other. So I felt like that was like we were definitely connected the most.
Got it. Okay, so then in this episode, you and Dale are having a conversation, and you ask him, "Did you kiss Allie Joe outside of the challenge?" And he says yes, and then you guys get into a little back and forth where you said, I thought we were going to be transparent. Why didn't you tell me this? And he was like, this wasn't a big deal. It wasn't even on my mind. So kind of just like run us through what the issue was with that, everything there.
In that first conversation,
Yeah, the
Yeah.
first one. The first one
The
you guys
first
are
one?
on, you're like on
yeah,
the
we're
beach.
sitting on the beach.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's daytime.
I asked that question and I did not expect that response. So I was just first taken aback by it being like, oh, okay.
You
I
didn't
was
think he kissed Allie Joe when you asked. You thought the
Right.
answer was going to be no.
right. Because why have all these hours gone by that was not said? And
If you
so
would have kissed Jonathan,
of course,
you would have let him know at this point.
well,
With-
we met it,
Okay.
we set a foundation, transparency. Like clearly our connection is the strongest. So like if that changes or if like that was like a conversation we had.
Okay.
I think that was initially the night that Allie Joe went on the date. So it was like the night of the kissing challenge, because that's when we debriefed everything and we were like moving forward, like let's just make sure that we're honest about everything. Like this environment's already a lot for both of us. So for that precedent to be set and then not met, I'm like, okay, what? And also just as who I am, like, hey, by the way, because we're all around each other. And again, I'd rather it come from us than someone else, because then it can get misunderstood. And so, anyways, I was just like, oh, okay. So that was like not what we talked about. And I just kind of like took it in and kind of let him just talk. I think if I can remember correctly, that was like where my mind was going. And I was just like, absorbing, but also like frustrated, obviously, because that was like just not where I thought it was going to be. But it wasn't about the kiss. It was like, so what else is it that I don't know? Like what else has happened that I'm not being? And then that's like where my mind started going.
Right. Like you're feeling like if I hadn't asked this, I might not have known. So like what other questions do I need to be asking to make sure
Yes.
I'm getting all the information?
Right. It's like more like that. You said you were going to do something and didn't stand on it, like didn't do it. Like now I'm like all my little trust issues are being like starting to get, alarmed at the moment. But I knew I needed to sit with it before I like really responded, because I didn't want to come from a place of like just, triggers and alarms.
Is there anything that he could have said in that first conversation that would have brought some closure
Mhm.
to the situation? Like
Maybe not using the word deaded as often as he did, because that to me, like I get it, but it was like so like non-serious, and like to me that moment was like serious. So it was like, please use a different term. And it was making me go crazy. I think all I wanted, because I hope I was able to communicate at the time, like but the issue with like the lack of communication that was done.
that's how it comes across. It doesn't come
Yeah.
across. It doesn't come across like you're upset about the kiss. It comes across that you're upset that he didn't tell you.
And all I needed to hear in that moment probably was like, okay, I see that. I know that I said that, and like, or we said that, and I didn't live up to it. And I can understand why that can, bring up some things for you. And like moving forward, I'll be more mindful and maybe giving some perspective of the situation, like, but not from a place of like, you have to like give perspective, but also like acknowledge that what I'm feeling is not like, just because it's not a big deal to you doesn't mean that's not going to hurt my little sensitive heart.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just think if he just acknowledged that, then we wouldn't have had to have the same conversation that we had later, where that was also what I was seeking. So
Yeah. And by deaded it seems
Yeah.
that he's essentially saying like, I ended things with Allie Joe. Like, I told her there's nothing there. So, like, there's not an issue.
An
Like, it's
issue.
over. But it didn't seem like that was actually your concern.
It was
felt
not.
like you guys were just not, like,
lining up.
on the communication.
Yeah, the communication was like not there. We were like speaking a different language to each other almost.
It seemed that way.
Yeah, I just think that like he was like doing like the classic like guy like logic where they like want to like talk about the actual situation, but in doing so, like are like the women like just want to be like, I'm heard and I'm seen and like I'm okay and I'm safe. And when they get so fixated like intellectually on the situation, it completely like you lose the picture. Like it didn't need to get there.
Yeah.
It could have been like squashed, but I was trying to say that, but I think even the more I was saying that, it just kept going like this, like over and over. And then I was feeling more unheard. And up until that point, like I have trust issues going to this environment. I've been open about it. I've been honest about it. Who wouldn't? I'm sure he does too. I don't think we understood enough about each other's triggers. So I think we were kind of like hitting old wounds on one another without even realizing. And that's like the place that we were coming from. And that's why there was such a misalignment.
Yeah. And in the second conversation that you guys have before the rose ceremony, he seems very fixated on the timing of the conversation. He's really upset that you've brought this up before a rose ceremony, and he wishes that you'd waited, like done it earlier or later. As a viewer, it's not totally clear like why that timing is so uncomfortable for him. Can you maybe shed some light on that?
Oh yeah. I don't know. I still don't fully understand it. I think what I mean, maybe it was the fact that he's like, well, time has gone by. I thought it was over. Maybe he felt anxiety about it being rose ceremony night and he didn't want it to be a thing on a night that was already stressful. And I should have been at least like more like cautious of that. But like for me, I'm thinking like I I don't even it has nothing to do about that. Like
Was real quick, was Dale ever under the impression that you knew that he had kissed
no.
Ellie Joe? Okay. So okay.
I
Because
would
that would be how the timing thing would maybe make sense in my mind, where it's like you knew this information, you held it for a few days, and then you brought it up before the rose ceremony, where he's like, "Why wouldn't you bring it up?"
But you'd clearly found out like
found
the
out
day
that
before.
morning.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, basically, in his perspective, so that morning I find out, and then we still go about the day. But I'm still like, I'm talking about Jonathan, talking about with my girls. I'm like still like making sense of it. So I was like, I think he thought the conversation was over in the morning.
In the Familia is presented by Coke kind of drunk.
Original from Lily and infuriatingly handsome.
Off the work brain, the patio with friends at a
Fake. It's such as condoms. Or call 1.
Choose PayPal.
When you check out with PayPal, paying for it
Together, like, hey, these are my triggers. Like, if you say you're gonna do something and you don't do it. And so I said, I know that like I had to sit with it for a second, and now this has come up. And like initially I wanted it to be like a moment that brought us together. Like, hey, these are my triggers. Like if you say you're gonna do something and you don't do it, it really hits old wounds of like people that can't be trusted. And this is already like tough enough to we don't know each other yet. So like that's really like I wanted it to be a moment that we can understand each other better. And instead of I was not like coming down on him for it. I really just wanted I didn't feel like he fully understood me the first time, and that still needed to be addressed. Also, I doing those things, you learn about people's communication styles and what they can handle and how you guys come to agreements of things. And I still needed to get a better assessment of that. And that was my time to do it. Time is limited. I wasn't ready to have the conversation fully because I didn't really fully understand where my emotions were at. And that I expressed that to him. I don't think he heard it because I think he was in such a defense mode that a lot of the things I said went right over his head. And he was just like focused on making sure that I understood that it was deaded, I guess.
Okay, so why'd you give him your rose?
I mean, I feel like I'm not afraid of conflict, like I feel like if anything, it's like I saw it as like a turning point to like help me understand how we can still move through things. Like we're all making choices in real time with like limited information. And I still felt like we had enough built up into that point where we could just be having like a hard moment and we're going to keep going from there. Like people have hard moments, couples have hard moments. And I'm not just going to run when we have like not the best discussion. And I still had like, I don't know. It's not like me. I'm like, okay, we have a hard time. I'm like done. Um,
I mean, I think it was. Yeah, I think that was. The
yeah,
right
like
move
we
this
had built so
season.
much up into that point. I'm not just going to walk away from it. And there wasn't like really, I wasn't interested in starting fresh with anyone else.
At any point were you seriously considering not giving him your rose? And do you think Dale was like, I feel like I'm in jeopardy now?
I mean, he did say some shit right before the rose ceremony that I was like, interesting. Um,
What
but
did he say?
I think that was when he first said the background thing.
Oh,
Okay.
And so that was like, oh, is this where this is going? And I was like, oh, I don't know if I like that very much. But I still had curiosity. I don't think I was ever like fully committed to or at all to walking away from that relationship yet at all. Um, yeah, no. He was always gonna be, I like knew that it was we were gonna continue on. And
Yeah.
I felt like I was giving him reassurance. Like I don't know why he would ever feel like he was in jeopardy like of that. I understand how it like may have with the Jonathan stuff, but like if you feel like we're like as solid as you say, like you know that like this is just a hard conversation. And like even though it's on a rose ceremony night, like that doesn't change anything. It's just the limited time that we have.
Yeah. Can you tell us more about the Jonathan stuff? Our conversation with him, he described it as more of just like you guys were friends and he was just wanted to be there to comfort you. But as a
Yeah.
viewer, it does kind of look like he's maybe interested in seeing if there's some wiggle room
To get your rose.
to get your rose and to explore a relationship.
I thought it was friendship. I thought it was friend. Like
Okay.
Okay.
when he sat down with me, like it was funny. Like I was like, oh, it was actually like cinematic comedic timing. I literally said, well, I like flirting with Jonathan, and I'll just like flirt with him the rest of the night. And walks right over. Like that was like real, that actually happened. And so it was just comedic timing. But I think he really was coming from a place of just trying to check in on like me as a friend. Like it wasn't like he wasn't trying to like swoop in, at least the way I was seeing it.
Okay, so you guys have kind of developed like a genuine friendship at this point, and it's
Yeah,
coming from a
yeah.
place of like support.
And I had definitely asked, like I was getting guidance from him earlier and like talking through my emotions. So, but friends flirt. So maybe not usually, but at the time it was still like, yeah, we could banter, but overall, no, I don't think it was ever like gonna be romantic. And I think he do that.
Okay.
Okay. So you give Dale your rose, and you guys both smile, kiss, happy, yay, and then right after you guys get back into.
I think you made a joke about
made
the
a
Dennis
joke.
situation.
Yes.
You kind of
Yeah.
tried to make like
Yes, that's what happened.
it
Yeah,
felt
yeah,
like for
yeah.
you, like
Wait a
the
minute.
fight had kind of come
Oh,
to a
I
close.
remember that vividly.
Yeah.
Vividly. It was so funny. I'm like, okay, he's not saying any words. Like, I'm gonna like, I'll do it. And I'm
Yeah.
like, let me make a joke. And maybe it'll lighten the mood and he'll realize like we're good. Like we're just gonna pick it up later. Things
Yeah.
are I could just see it in his face. And
I'm assuming for you, like you guys will be having more conversations about this, but just not
Yeah.
right now. Like
Yeah,
you're like
like-
it's not done, but like let's try to lighten up.
let's have a good night. Let's go to bed like not upset. So I make the little joke and I'm like, oh, that didn't land, I guess. You hated that. And that opened up the conversation. But at that point, I was actually like, first of all, you're supposed to laugh when I make a joke. So that's annoying. Second of all, why are we still talking about this? Like, what do you mean? Like, do you understand that we could just like move on tomorrow, like you said, but like also like why are we going back and forth at the same thing? I just feel like we were talking about the same thing, and I definitely felt like I got more frustrated there because I'm like, I gave him a rose, we're moving on. Like what is the problem? Like let's not be so like hostile with each other. We can still have a conversation, but I felt hostility and like almost like he was like yeah, like shutting me out, and I didn't like that very much.
Well,
It felt
it was frustrating to watch because you guys are now in a place where you're having this argument, but you're not communicating. Like both of you are on like two different, like you're saying one thing, he's saying another thing, and it's like there's no way with the way that you guys are going about this, you're not going to find a solution.
Yeah,
like,
I feel like every conversation got worse and worse because emotions just got heightened and heightened, and you had simmered down like faster than he had, and it just kind of like reignited for that last.
I don't think I was ever that high. I think I stayed.
You didn't ever seem that heated.
But I also noticed that when I noticed that he was getting worked up, I really was like, okay, I need to stay here because if I match him, then this is going to go through the roof. And I kind of wanted him to pick up on my energy to like, we're okay, we're safe, we're okay, we're safe. Like we can just have this conversation. It just like at that point, I think I was starting to climb too, because I'm like, this is like insane. Like, why are we still having this conversation? Why can't we meet eye to eye? Looking back, I realized like there was no way we did. We were literally speaking a different language, like actually.
So going to bed that night, how are you feeling?
Oh, I was really sad that night. He said that comment about the background. And it was so like, as I was walking away that I was just I think all the emotions came at once, and like all my fears of like judgment and everything just like hit me. And not just that, but like I was really afraid to get back into a relationship that might be unhealthy. And like right now, the way we were communicating was pretty unhealthy. Yeah. And so it wasn't just like a throwaway comment. Like it hit pretty deeper, honestly, deeper than I thought it was going to, but it just like brought up the misunderstanding fear, like judgment, like for just who I am. And then I'm like, well, I've worked really hard to show up this way, like to be my fully self. And then so when someone that I care about is like implying that our differences might be a problem, it just makes me like question, like, okay, maybe I'm too much. Like maybe I shouldn't say anything. Am I like enough? And that kind of like verbiage and like language that he used, like even if it wasn't meant to be hurtful, it just poked at like some really hard wounds that I went to bed with that night. And like I truly was like, okay, I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore. I should have never came here. Like I had a whole crash out. Because I tried to do the right thing. I tried to bring up the things and like stay as calm as possible. And then I felt like because it wasn't perfect, and I was like, what do you know about my background? Because I don't come from the best background. Like I actually have had a lot of things. Do you know about that? And you're using it against me? Like what? Or do you think that I come from this like perfect life and now it's, I don't know. I just didn't understand it. So I created my own narrative of it.
Yeah.
And it was, and then I was like, I didn't know what was going to happen when I woke up. Like I was like really contemplating just like giving up.
Yeah.
Just being drama, crash out.
We'll see what happens because this is basically the end of the episode, or like the end of
your story.
What we see of you and Dale. So we're excited to keep watching. I hope you guys work it out, but you never know. Kat, thanks so much for taking the time and coming on the podcast.
Thanks for having me. This has been such a better experience overall, I would say. It's been so fun.
So far, so good. We're happy for you.
Thanks, guys. This has been great. Thanks for having me.
Of course. And to all our listeners, thank you for tuning in to Bachelor Happy Hour. Make sure you download and subscribe to the podcast.
Keep watching Bachelor in Paradise, and thanks for listening to Bachelor Happy Hour. We have new and exclusive interviews every single week. Bye.